Hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And we are back for another episode of the Real Housewives of Orange County. And this is season 19. And this is episode... Hold on. I got you. Episode 22. So this is back to the original set that I was doing before. And you want to know why? It's not worth me doing the additional effort for this review. And this review, I know I say it all the time, that it's not going to be very long, but I promise you it's not. If anything, this is going to be more of a rant than it is a review. This reunion is basura. Muy basura. Get this off my screen. Por favor. Please get this off my damn screen. It's just not, it ain't it. I will go over pretty much what happened, but it was literally more of the same thing, and it was more of a waste of our time. And I am slightly irritated that instead of going on a run this morning, which is fine, I'll go on a run after I do this review because it's actually really nice outside. It's in the 60s. So we're going to go on a run after this. But I'm annoyed that I didn't even get out. I could have got that out the way instead of watching this because it just wasn't worth it. Again, this could have been shrunken down to one part and be done. And when we're done, because we have another part, it's 3 parts and it really could have been 1 part. And about time we were done with this, we're at 23 episodes. Orange County does not need 23 episodes. Okay? That's one thing that we need to make absolutely clear. There is no reason for 23 episodes. At this point, I would say for any of the Housewives shows anymore, there really is no need for that many episodes. Leave us wanting more. We don't need this excess amount of nothing, of garbage, because that's what this was. So let me get into what is going on. And look at Whisper. Even she's annoyed. That was Whisper. Whisper, I know. So for those who are new to the channel, I feel like a lot of y'all be watching some of my videos and then all of a sudden there's like a pillow here. That's not a pillow. That is Whisper. That's my cat. My cat now is sitting behind me and basically acting as a lumbar because she loves being close to me. And also, too, I took her favorite chair. This chair that I sit on when I do my reviews, which is the other reason why I have been switching my reviews up. This is like her favorite chair, so she gets irritated when I'm on her chair. And so she's like, if you're going to be on my chair, we're going to share this chair. So that's partially what it is, but also too, she is a shadow. She's a shadow cat. She loves to shadow me and follow me wherever I go. Like we sleep in the same bed together. It's a whole entire thing. Like she will not leave me alone. Like when I go to the restroom, if I'm in the restroom too long and she'll hear water running and no other things going on, she's gonna start scraping the door. Like, girl, what's going on? You okay? Like, I know it's a little TMI. But if you have pets, you understand it. And I just wanted to throw that out there. And honestly, I'm more interested in talking about that than about this show. I'd rather talk about that than this show. But before we get into it, let me give one more shout out. Sorry, my mic is kind of messed up again. What is. And the thing is, what saddens me is that I reviewed the reunion part 1, and this was like one of my higher views that I've had on my channel in a minute. And I kind of don't care. Like it just is what it is. But so apparently some of y'all who are listening and watching my reviews are hate watching it like I am. But unless something significant changes for season 20, don't expect me to review this show again. Do not expect me to watch this show. I will not be wasting my time. Also, just a content update. You know, I mentioned that that Potomac might be my last thing that I review in a while. I forgot about Beverly Hills, and I actually like Beverly Hills. I'm on the fence. I may or may not review Beverly Hills. So if all of a sudden you just see me reviewing Beverly Hills, no, that was why. Because I was like, because it looks like it's going to be good. Like really good, actually. Because I am interested in seeing Rachel Zoe. And I am interested in Sun getting her comeuppance. I am interested in that. I'm going to hold you. I don't like how she handled Garcelle, and I want to know how she will navigate without Garcelle now that she doesn't have anyone helping her. Because I don't think Jennifer Tilly, I think Jennifer Tilly is going to get sick of it sooner than Garcelle even will. So I am interested in seeing how that's going to work. And yeah, so I may be back on. I might watch. I'm going to, bare minimum, I will be fully transparent with y'all. I will definitely watch Beverly Hills, but whether I'll review it or not, that's really the question. Anyway, and then also the other thing I wanted to call out is thank you for those who've newly subscribed to my channel. I was sitting for the longest, so like $3.95 when it comes to like my subscriptions, and now I'm like at $4.10. So I know this is a very baby small channel, but anyone who watches and supports, it does mean a lot. So I wanted to call that out. Okay, let's get into the actual review. I had to like talk about other stuff because otherwise this will be a waste of me doing anything, because this is like literally, I'm going to give you 20 minutes. That's it. And I promise you that's really what it's going to be this time. Anyway, moving on. So Tamra, this whole entire reunion, for the most part, other than her going back and forth with, so she went back and forth with Gretchen, and then switched from her going back and forth with Gretchen to her having all these excuses with her going against Jen. Jen had the receipts to say, girl, you were doing too much, and this is why I can't try to maintain a friendship with you, because you're a snake. And I mean, basically the obvious. And then Tamra does what she did best, apologize like after the fact, so you know it's not really a true apology. That's kind of really all Tamra did here. She did chime in here and there to support Katie, because Katie, this second part was Katie in the hot seat. And honestly, it really, this reunion wasn't interesting until the Katie situation and Matt joining the reunion like couch. Up until then, it was pretty lackluster. A lot of talking about nothing that none of us care about. Like, we talk about the workout trends. We talked a lot about, we did get updates when it comes to Jen and her situation with her getting married and whatnot. That was notable, but I mean, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm so turned off by this cast. I just don't care when it comes to these people, like all these women, their thing. But mainly the highlight, though, of this part 2 was Tamra was still in the hot seat. She never left the hot seat. Gretchen was severely in the hot seat because of her actions, not only with her versus Tamra, but the naked wasted thing. And I think that's part of my frustration when it comes to this show. Everything that we're talking about is about stuff that happened 15 years ago. And I don't know. Like, I don't like it. It's annoying. It's stupid. And I just want to ask, like, are the producers okay? Like, I don't know, to dwell that much into the past is giving mental illness. Like, I don't understand why we're still talking about this. Like, it's just too, like, I don't care. And I'm sorry, and I wasn't trying to be offensive when I said it's giving mental illness, because for those who don't really know my story, like, that runs in my family hardcore. So I say it in jest, and like, even I myself, like, I'm technically bipolar 3 myself. So I'm not, I feel like I need to make a preface that like, I was not making fun of mental illness. I am just saying it in jest, but also because that is a known thing. If you know, you know, when it comes to people in their episodes, they talk about stuff that happened in the past. And I know this firsthand because I've lived with it. So that's why I'm just like, this is literally driving me nuts, because it really is like, this is just insanity. Like, why are we talking about something that happened 15 years ago? And that was most of what the plot is of the second reunion. A little bit of Jen and Tamara's relationship and the breakdown of that. But even when we look at the breakdown of that, unbeknownst to us as viewers, we're going back to 2018 because they became cool back in 2018. So we're still going back in the past. I'm sorry, at this point, unless we're talking about something bigger and grander than petty drama, we do not need to go back to pre-pandemic era, okay? When it comes to petty drama. Anything else, it's like, what are we doing? And with Jen, I understood why, because she was building her case of why Tamara and hers friend, why she's done with it. Because on the show, we only saw their friendship from what we saw on the show. But then also too, this is another thing that I'm having a major issue with the producers. If you have to constantly give us these unseen footage of things, including unseen footage from like way back, that's a problem. Why we wait until the reunion to see that there is a longer history with Jen and Tamara now? Like, we've heard them verbally say it, but why are we just now seeing this? This could have been presented to us the first season that Jen was on the show. And also we found out in this reunion, Tamara was trying to get Jen on the show years ago. And Jen was like, okay, it didn't happen, whatever, it's fine. So I feel like a lot of this argument back and forth between Tamara and Jen, it doesn't really give me, it's really about the friendship. It's all about the show. And I, as a viewer, that's frustrating to watch because you're talking in code and it's not about friendships. And really, at the end of the day, the beginning of, and this show should be about the Housewives show should really be about friendships and relationships and not the show. So when that is the whole entire conversation, the whole entire point of arguments and stuff like that is literally the show and that's it, that's where the show's it's a problem. And you need to start getting rid of the people who make that the argument. AKA Tamara. I'm speaking directly to you. It's just like this can't go on for another season, this version of this. So anyway, so that was kind of the other thing that got brought up with Jen. Also, we did get an update that her and her ex Will, they are doing a way better job of co-parenting. He still ain't paying though. And he's saying that he's going to, but like, I guess the first baby step is that he's talking, like they're communicating properly now, which I get that. I do. But that's kind of what we have here. And Jen also expresses she's not in a hurry to get remarried. Understood. But I feel like all this stuff that we're talking about, this is regurgitated from the show. The only difference is the update with Will. That's it. Okay. Then we get really into the Katie situation. Gina was just kind of there. But when it comes to the Katie situation, a lot of these women are getting caught on this show of doing things that are offensive because we see that Jen filmed Gretchen doing some like come through stuff that came off pretty offensive. And Gretchen apologized, but Jen did not. Jen saying it's a reach. But I was like, Jen, I understand your character or whatever, and like because Jen feels Una reversed it and said that she feels attacked because that's not her character. But if someone finds it offensive, you need to take it down. It doesn't matter what your intent was. If I call out that I see something offensive and I know you and you're my good girlfriend or whatever, and it's offensive to me as an African American, then you need to take it down. I don't care what your freaking intent is. And I really wish, and this is my problem with Katie and why, unfortunately, these women drove her off the show, but she's also not really meant to be on the show because she does not know how to really get at these women. Like, all you gotta do is just get at these women, say what it is, plain and simple. Don't let these women talk over you. Like, the fact that Jen was able to check you, that's crazy to me. She would never be able to check me. Okay? Like, ever. And really, none of these women could. They wish they could. Because, no, absolutely not. But, like, so I got where Katie was coming from. If she finds it offensive, take it down. Jen did take it down, but she really didn't apologize to Katie. She basically gave a generalized apology to anyone that might have found it offensive. Problematic. And Jen's explanation of saying, like, well, I'm raising I have, like, she has Asian children that she adopted. That doesn't mean anything. And I really need people to stop saying those type of things. Just because you know someone by association doesn't mean you yourself is not doing something offensive. And I really wish we could have talked about that a little bit longer, but we kind of brushed over that. And honestly, that would have been more interesting if we would have talked a little bit more about it. But there would have been nothing really to say or do with that because Katie don't know how to defend herself and she moves on too quickly. Like, she just is not very good as a housewife. She is not. But the way she got bullied, she deserves another chance, really. But she's not a good housewife. Two things can be true. Anyway, let's get into the main thing and then we done with this. Okay, I got like 4 minutes to sum this up, which I will. It's not going to take long. So then the next thing is that Matt did, like, they had lunch. Matt did end up showing up. And Matt was, so basically we find out from Andy that not only Matt was invited, Slade was invited and Brian was invited. The other two declined. And that gives me they're guilty. I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but I can't believe Matt. Honestly, none of y'all are trustworthy. Of the 3 of y'all, or the 6 of y'all, none of them are trustworthy. Matt gives me slimy vibes too, but because he's going to defend his wife. But at the same time, Ryan really gives me slimy vibes because of the obvious. Like, hello, like, you were part of that whole Hideo Itami thing, and you cooperate with the feds, like, allegedly, because I'm not trying to get, I ain't got it. In the words of Tasha K, I ain't got it. Allegedly, you ain't catching me slipping. And then, like, Slade wants to be a producer of this show. So he doesn't come because he doesn't want to be accused of that, even though we all know that's him. Nothing about that has changed. He was all up on our screen the whole entire season. He wants an orange so bad. They all do. And then I guess the thing that I don't believe is Gretchen would not let Matt talk. I think Matt was literally about to blow up their whole entire spot of their alliance, and Gretchen didn't want any part of that. Because I think there clearly is a truth to that. That definitely is a thing. But Katie and Matt went rogue. That's what I'm getting from this. And y'all can't tell me otherwise, because to me, that's all it is. And they went rogue because, I mean, really, Katie's a wild card. She'd be lying, and she'd be getting them in mess too much. Because really, all the things that occurred was not supposed to get leaked to the blogs or anything like that, but Katie was also doing that too. She was doing too much. And Katie has been doing too much from day one being on this show. But, Tamara does the same thing. We also find out, if you're paying attention to, like, the news and everything when it comes to these other women, Emily is doing literally the same thing that she drove Katie out for doing. All these women do it. It's a problem when Katie does it. And the thing is, Katie's relationship with the truth is really interesting. And she doesn't know how to defend herself. Like, there's just a lot with Katie that is just like, okay, let's leave it alone. But at the same time, optics wise, it doesn't look good and never will because of the obvious elephant in the room. So it makes it very, very tricky. And Jen and her willful ignorance of it all, I'm kind of getting, like I already mentioned this in the last review, I'm sick of that act with her because it's like, girl, you can't be willfully ignorant and play like the, oh, what was me? And then at the same time, be kind of going after Katie the way you were in this part 2 of the reunion. That to me, the continents are not meeting. Which one are you? Which one is it? It doesn't make sense to me. And it almost kind of in a messed up way, I hate to agree with Tamara, but it kind of deems true that like Tamara was trying to say like she's not who she presents herself to be on TV. And this season we saw that. She's not how she presents herself. She just chooses when she's going to do that. And Katie kind of exposed it too without trying to. And I just really wish also the other thing, sorry, we're going to go a little bit over. But like Katie also was talking about the, taking my paycheck away. Jen is trying to say she didn't do that because she has no control over, her having a job or not. But it's like, Jen, stop being willfully obtuse. You know what Katie means, and Katie doesn't know how to explain it properly. If no one will film with Katie, she's not going to be on the show. She got iced out. Let's be so for real. And that, in turn, interfered with her paycheck. I just really wish she wouldn't get flustered, but then even how Matt was trying to explain things, and he kept retrying to explain things, and Gretchen was filibustering him left and right. You saw he was literally, I thought he was about to have a stroke for how much he was trying to explain and he wasn't able to get his point across. And he intervened a couple times so he could get his point across so he could land the freaking plane. But it's like, oh, neither of you two know how to really do this properly. Matt knows how to do it slightly better, but it also optically looks wild that you're the only man on this show that's there. None of it looks good. And I think that was what Gretchen was going for. Yeah. Unfortunately, these women that you're going against, Katie, they know how to play the Housewives game better than you ever will. And Tamara had your back, but not probably as much as you really thought she was going to have it, because it didn't give. And honestly, too, because Tamara's on, it's everyone versus Tamara. Basically, this is not the time for you to be on Tamara's side. You chose all that all at the wrong time. So I don't know what's going to happen with Katie, but like that's kind of really how the episode ended. We talked about Nick wasted up for the umpteenth time. And Andy also confirmed that the reason why Gretchen ended up being on the show had nothing to do with like any of these women's like involvement. It had everything to do with Gretchen's appearance on Ultimate Girls Trip. That is when, and we already knew that though, because that, I mean, for those who pay attention to all the news that's related to Bravo, a lot of these offshoot shows, like the spin-off shows, the Ultimate Girls Trip, which we probably will never get again, and then Traitors, that is what they use as kind of like a test to see if we want to bring you back onto like the main Housewives show. That's why they were doing those things. But anyway, and it also kind of gives us the viewers like the behind the scenes, like, oh, they're in good faith with the network. Anyway, that is pretty much though the reunion part 2. I don't know what we're going to talk about part 3, other than I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what else we're going to talk about, because we really didn't need this part 2, and we sure as hell don't need a part 3. But anyway, this is the review. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Yes, I went like 3-4 minutes over. It's fine. It's still less than like my 40-minute videos I normally do. Anyway, talk to you later. Have a nice weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye.